everyone, welcome back to Book Reviews with Anne. I'm Anne. These are all my lovely books that you can't see and that are falling everywhere. Today we're going to do a book review on the romance novel Silk and Steel by Kat Martin. It is very special to me because it is the first romance novel I ever read. I was 15 and I started it, and so that book is to blame for my impressively outrageous collection of romance novels, which do not include all the ones I've read online. Anyone that reads romance novels, I'm sure, shares the same issue of, dear God, where am I going to put all of these books? At this point, I could probably build a small mansion. So I would normally show you the cover, but if anybody's read any of my book reviews before, I have children and I've let them come and go over the years, and I've had this since I was 15, so of course it's kind of ripped and shredded. I absolutely do not advocate for buying books that are not, that the author does not get money for. Absolutely not. They should always get money. I can guarantee that it was bought. I just have a ton of books that unfortunately got beat and battered because I have kids and I let them play with my books because I think that's important. So, yes, so please always, advocate for, for paying your authors. Don't buy books that don't have covers. This, I guarantee, had a cover when I bought it. Actually, this one was given to me, but it definitely had a cover. It just kind of got ripped off in the process, and you can tell because there's still tape where I kept the poor thing on. Tried desperately. So, Silk and Steel is written by Kat Martin. As I said, I have a few others of hers upstairs that do have the cover, that are a little newer. And this one specifically was written in 2000. So I got this for free. Like I said, there was a lady that was friends with my grandma, and I was a very angsty teenager that liked sci-fi, and she was like, have you ever read romance? And I was like, never, no. And so she's like, just give it a try. And I was like, fine, because I was sassy. And I did, and now, as I said, I have a million. Well, not a million, but I would if I could. I absolutely love romance, and they are a ton of fun, and I love each unique individual adventure that they take you on. I just can't say enough. If you haven't tried one, just try it. There's a bunch of different types out there, and there's a ton of fun to be had. So this one, let's start with what it's about, right? Okay, so She Could Take His Name. Lady Catherine Grayson is a gently bred noblewoman with a privileged future ahead of her, until her greedy uncle decides to steal her fortune by committing her into an insane asylum. Her only escape is to stow away in the carriage of Lucian Montaigne, Marquess of Lynchfield, who hears her story with disbelief and suspicion. Yet Catherine's instincts tell her Lord Lynchfield is a man of honor and her only salvation. Desperate to save herself, she attempts to seduce him and forces him into marriage, but she couldn't take his heart. The moment Lucian encounters the ragged, hungry waif with the dignity of a queen, he fights against wanting her. Though captivated by her intellect, strong will, and beauty, he will never love the woman who has deceived him, or so he thought. Though their battle of wills grows stronger every day, desire threatens to overpower his fury. Can this maddening woman, who is now his bride, melt his heart of steel? Or will her silken touch only strengthen his vow never to fall prey to the dangers of love? So, as I said, this book was written in 2000. The Lusty meter I gave it was a 6. So there are some, intimate scenes that are kind of descriptive, but they're not nearly as descriptive as some other books that I've reviewed. So this one is a little more on the mild side, but not quite at a side of I think that I did one that there was no intimacy, and so it's not quite there. You might have to review back. I think that one was Victoria Alexander, I believe. Victoria. It was the When We Meet Again. I believe that one doesn't have very many erotic scenes in it. So, but there's a couple like that really don't have any, and you can probably find those pretty easily. I have quite a few. So this one has a little more eroticism in there, or erotic themes. Kind of get your your blood pumping or whatever. So, but it's not as much as like, you know, 50 Shades of Grey or something. So if you were looking for something in the middle, or maybe something that's not quite as vulgar, this one might be a cup of, you know, your cup of tea. The other thing is the disclaimer for it. They do mention, obviously, mental hospitals and things that go with that. So there is some abuse happening in those mental hospitals. And there is, you know, a couple of scenes where I would say it was close to maybe rape that might be triggering. So if anybody is triggered by those things. And again, I throw those disclaimers out there, not because I'm saying anything at all against the author. Like I said, I love this story. It's just to give people a heads up. So if it's something that you're sensitive to, I just wouldn't want you to be surprised and then in a bad spot because I recommended a book and didn't kind of let you know it was in there. Like I would be horrified if there was, you know, me and my sister definitely tell each other if there's any kind of like children or pregnant women being hurt. That's such a hard one for me. So I just appreciate the heads up. If I'm gonna do what I like to know. So this guy, I definitely gave it a sticker. I like their back and forth wills. There is a little bit that I feel like the main heroine, the girl, could have saved herself a lot of grief by just being honest. Maybe not the first time because she was timid, but as she got to know the main character a little more, I feel like she kind of could have helped herself out by just kind of coming clean and just being like, this is kind of what I'm thinking. And rather than trying to, like, she lied a couple of times and then manipulated. And I think that even though, like I said, it's still a great story, I love the book, I love the way it ended, I did have some compassion for the main guy, because I'm just like, yeah, it's kind of hard to trust somebody that keeps lying to you, even if they are beautiful. Like, you're so beautiful, but you keep, you know, lying, and I don't know who you are. So, but it was a fun adventure. I love the this one has a very basic bad guy, which is the uncle, of course. They mentioned the greedy uncle, and so it's a very basic bad guy. It's really easy to not like him because he's not very nice and he's kind of a sleazeball. So it's easy to not like the villain. It's very, very simple, lovely romance novel. So I mean, except for with you have little elements of like the greedy uncle and mental hospital. So it's a little less Bridgertons-ish, obviously. So as I said, I got this guy for free from a friend of my grandma's. But it looks like whenever I did get it, it was for $6.99. You can now get it at Thrift Books for $4.79, all the way up to $22, which I was kind of surprised about. On Amazon, you can get the Kindle for $11, well, $11.99, so $12. The hardback copy for $5.29, which seems like the best way to go if you like hardbacks. And the pocket books or mass market paperback, however they say that, is $11. And Barnes and Noble has it for $7.99. You would think I would invest in more hardback, but I hate that when I'm reading at night, they smack me in the face when I fall asleep, which is a true story. I do get smacked in the face a lot with my books while you're reading at night, and yeah. So I don't really prefer hardbacks. I like the paperback because it hurts a lot less. Lesson learned. So, all right, guys. That is it for this one. Let me know if anybody's read this one, if you like it, hate it, if there was anything that I forgot to add. Please let me know if there's another book that you would like me to read that I haven't done yet. And any questions that anybody has, I would be more than happy to answer. Please like and subscribe if you would like to. And I will try to get better at doing my videos on the same day every week, so you kind of know when to expect it. As always, I appreciate you all for watching, and don't forget to stay awkward and read as much and as often as you can. So have a good day, guys.